She was a sucker for the lyre. She loved the traps, and we went and enjoyed some, a table together, maybe a couple of cocktails, and I let her braid my leg hair. We have a mystery of the sock here. They need to see this sock.
Why? Maybe they're drying it out.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch it.
I didn't.
Just forget, just keep going. The POV. We got a good POV here.
Yeah, I think we'll figure it out. I think we got there. On our walk to the walk, you're asking me about the third Avatar movie, the new Avatar movie. I went and saw it last night. It was good. It was very long. I think it was 3 hours and 15 minutes.
Wow.
And Devin invited everybody.
Yeah.
No one looked up like how long it was or anything. We just knew we were gonna watch it at 6:45. And we are sat down. The ads are playing, the whatever. And Ryan looks at me. She says, "This movie is 3 hours and 15 minutes." Oh no.
She's never seen an Avatar movie before?
She has. Yeah. She just was not prepared for that.
It's a long time. If you get the big Coca-Cola, it's a lot of pee breaks.
No, man. You can't get up. You can't leave.
Yeah. You're only cool if you pee pants.
Like you and Brian did in our last D&D home game.
Oh my gosh. That was so much fun.
It kind of segues into what. Well, let's stay on the Avatar topic. You were asking me if it was better than the second one. I don't remember much of the second one. I know that they met the water people.
Yeah.
And that same bad guy from the first one was the bad guy in the second one. This is minor spoilers.
That's okay.
He's the same bad guy.
Same bad guy.
It's
He's a good bad guy.
He is.
But I don't know how he keeps surviving.
It gets a little tired at some point. It's like Batman and the Joker. Okay? I understand Joker is cool. He's a cool bad guy. But man, it's just over and over. It's the same stuff.
Yeah.
Give me a new bad guy. Give me a new villain. I really, for a second, thought that the third movie was going to end exactly the same way as the second movie.
Hmm.
Again, spoilers for. Yeah, hold it up. Yeah.
There we go.
Spoilers for the second Avatar movie. Skip ahead if you don't want that. Did you watch the second one?
I did.
Okay.
I did watch
the end, they're like on the crash ship. It's Jake and Spider, and they're fighting the Colonel.
Right.
There's a moment. I mean, you're in the last 15, 20 minutes of the movie. They're on a crash ship. It's Jake and Spider fighting the Colonel. Like, if you would have just brought in footage from the second movie into this one, I couldn't have told you the difference.
Oh, really?
So I was like, man, I'm sitting there, like, is this really just going to end the exact same way that the second one did? It doesn't. There's more, it goes on. They go to a different place, and it's a pretty good ending, but there's definitely some, Joker effects to it, to where it's like, okay. This guy, the Colonel, he's bad.
Here we go.
I don't know. It was cool. You get all the cool.
Good morning.
Morning.
You get all the cool scenery. It was obviously a very beautiful movie. The sound score for it was really good. I often found myself acknowledging the music during the movie. of like that really sets the scene here. Like, oh, this is like a really good. It's like really builds tension or whatever. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
The James Cameron production, right?
I guess.
I think it is. Pretty sure it's James
I
Cameron.
think it's the same guy who's done all.
Yeah, it's James Cameron. Pretty sure of that,
So
which makes plenty of sense. But have you ever been to Disney World, to Animal Kingdom, and did the Avatar ride?
we did one.
Flight of Passage.
We did one where we had to wait so long for it. And if I could go back in time, I probably wouldn't. Probably wouldn't wait. But it was like when we like lay down and it was like you were flying one of those things.
Yeah, that's the Flight of Passage.
Yeah, we did that. I mean, it was.
I mean, the ride was cool, but even in the waiting line, they did a really good job of building the Avatar world for you to kind of enjoy that while you're there. Which I think that was the enamor with the first movie. Is there's this entire world that's so different, but yet beautiful.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot about Disney, like in general. There's always something to look at or like watch or interact with in the waiting lines.
Yeah.
Unless they just get crazy long and you're in like the overflow waiting line, but it makes it a little easier. But me and my wife went one time, and this was my first time. I can't remember if we were at. I think we were at Universal, and so I'm one of those people like I'm not gonna hold up the line. Like it's got to stay. We got to keep it moving, you know. She's like trying to take pictures of all the stuff in the waiting line, and like I'm like, man, we got to go. There's people behind us, but yeah, I remember that it was cool.
I'll probably check it out. It was one of those come to home things. Brittany's not a 3 hour and 15 minute fantasy movie watcher.
Yeah. But what we probably our main topic for today was Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, if you didn't get the gist that we're real nerds at this point, we are. We have a home game that we play. We have a home group that we try to play with regularly. We actually have two different tables. There's a table that you're not part of. I am. And then there is a table that you're a part of that I'm DMing for, that I'm running the game. I also run sessions at our local library one Saturday a month. And we did a session this past Thursday night at the library that I ran, and it was a Christmas theme. And the title for the session that I gave it was Christmas on the Naughty List.
Very unhinged.
Yeah. The whole like the TLDR on the story is the players come back home for the holidays. They meet up with all their friends at the local tavern, which happens to be everybody at the table. And while they're at the tavern, they receive a lump of coal and a letter from Santa saying that they've made the naughty list. The bartender comes over, says, "Oh, congrats! You've made the naughty list." And they're like, "What do you mean, congrats? What does that mean?" And so then he there and tells them that your lump of coal that you receive if you make the naughty list is your entry into like an exclusive naughty list party. So they went to this naughty list party. Uh, of course, did crazy stuff. And then Santa attacks. He's trying to get rid of all the people on the naughty list. Do you want to give me what were your like general thoughts on the session? Because it was pretty wacky.
It wasn't at all. I don't think anybody prepared for that at all. Because you could have easily just let that scene play out as like, okay, y'all are at this Christmas party for people on the naughty list, and all of the shenanigans that took place in that could have been it. You didn't even have to have Santa in there with his tribe of um, warrior elves.
Workshop
Yeah,
elves.
workshop warrior elves. That's there to take care of the people on the bad list. And but that just kind of like the icing on the cake. It's like you're in the middle of your fun, and then next thing you know, you got to fight Santa.
Tell him, I
You
think
know.
you should. I think you should introduce your character to them.
Okay.
Tell them a little about.
About Tychus. So I've played several different characters since I started learning how to do D&D, just to kind of get an idea of what I like what kind of character I want to play more of, and then. But I think I've decided I don't think I'll ever stick with one specific character. I've seen people that do that, and to me, that would get a little boring. And but I played series characters, like they've had abilities. I've tried to play them seriously, maybe a little fun undertones, but I designed this character specifically to be funny, to be ridiculous. I wanted him to be dumb, and so he's a bugbear. If you don't know what that looks like, it's kind of like a humanoid bear. Yeah,
I don't know why
humanoid bear.
bug is in the name.
I'm not really sure either.
There's literally no bug aspect to it.
Yeah, it's got like a human face with some animalistic characteristics, but like human legs, but they're hairy.
They don't have
Kind of thing.
the head or face of a bear.
No, they don't.
Like there is a bear folk race, which is like you've seen Leonin or like lizard folk. You know, they have the head of a lizard, head of a lion.
Right.
Bear folk will actually have the head of a bear, whereas bugbears are almost like they're almost like the head kind of shape of a goblin. Like they've got the long ears of a goblin. But you're super hairy.
Yeah, super hairy. He's big. He likes to go to the gym, but he only works out his traps. So his name is Tychus Trap Lord Torland. He has humongous traps, but that's it. Really skinny arms and small hands. Never hits a leg day, so he's got skinny legs. So he just looks ridiculous. He's also a bard, and you can make that play very interesting.
One of my favorite classes.
I think I'm gonna like him for sure. Like the more I explore what he can do in his character, and it's all how you play your character too. Like, do you want him to be super stoic and serious, or do you want to have some playful undertones? And I want this character to be absolutely ridiculous and charismatic. So his charisma stats very maxed, and so he's gonna be singing lots of songs. He may or may not respond in only rhymes. Who knows? But he's gonna love the ladies and want to woo the ladies.
Yeah, you tried to woo one.
Oh, I didn't try. I succeeded.
Before you succeeded, you failed.
It's all part of the plan.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe just the recovery was good.
Yeah, right. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, so we're they're playing out the whole party scene because I kind of jumped to that because I wanted that to be a large chunk of it. Like I kind of wanted to give y'all an opportunity to just have some fun and just like play party games or dance on stage. And Tychus, he looks around, seeing if there's any attractive people around.
He's got a thing for orcs.
Sees this half-orc woman, and I don't remember what line you said, but you did try and you walked up and kind of tried to hit on her.
Well, I wanted to lock eyes with her from across the room.
Yeah. You locked eyes, and she got weirded out. So she starts like ducking him around the bar, and then what song did you play?
You're all I ever wanted.
Yeah. Pulls out the lyre and starts playing that, and maybe she has a thing for lyre players.
Maybe.
That's what the dice decided.
The dice decided I succeeded. She was a sucker for the lyre. She loved the traps, and we went and enjoyed some, a table together, maybe a couple of cocktails, and I let her braid my leg hair.
Yeah, as a DM, I really like to let the dice decide, even for me. Now, if it's something like for the plot, like if there's a plot beat I know I have to hit, I'll kind of make decisions to get y'all there. But if it's something I haven't planned for or I don't know what's gonna happen, I just roll a die. Why? There's one.
I don't know.
I just roll a die. Like, for instance, in our home game, there was an instance where some of the guards were corrupt and some were not, and the characters were kind of confronting this group of guards, and they pretty much straight up asked this guy if he was corrupt. I didn't know. I didn't plan out every single guard's name, their story, if they were corrupt or not. I just kind of knew that they were, and I would fit that into the narrative if it came up. So I rolled for it, and I think that that scene plays out two very different ways if the guard is corrupt and if they aren't. Because that guard was not corrupt, ended up being a good guy, and so they kind of let him go, and he leaves, and who knows, he might come back into the story in some effect.
Yeah.
Say that guard is corrupt, he might blow the whole ship up with it. But they are in. I'm doing a homebrew for Aaron and 5 others, I believe.
Yes.
And we are almost out of this like sort of prologue period. And I want to run some homebrew rules by you.
Okay.
And just kind of see what you think about these. First one's an easy one. So, potions. So, typically, by the rules in D&D, you have to use an action to drink it, and you have to roll for that amount of health that you get back. So if it's a basic potion, you're talking 2d4 plus 2. You have to roll that, and you would heal whatever amount. This is a rule that we've been playing with for a while. I just don't think it's come up since you've been at the table.
Right.
But instead of an action to drink it and you have to roll it, I say you can if you take an action to drink the potion, you get the full content. But that's taking up your whole action. So, it might be worth it. If you're really low, you might need that full amount. Also, as an action, you can feed it to another player. So, say my character is down, unconscious. You can run up, pull the potion out of your inventory, and you can use your action to pour it, to dump it in my mouth. That would also be rolled. So that one's not going to be your full content.
So if you give it to someone, it's rolled. But if you choose an action to take it, you can get the full benefit.
Yeah. So if you're feeding it to someone, now you can use an interaction to just be like, hey, here's this potion.
Okay.
And they can take it. But if I'm unconscious on the ground and you run up and you're hastily trying to, pull the top off and pour it down, someone's going to spill. So you would roll for that.
Okay.
Also,
I like that.
As an action, you can throw your potion. Now,
Yes.
you are going to roll the HP and then half it. So let's say you rolled 2d4 plus 2 and you got a total of, let's say, 8, right? You rolled, that's pretty decent for a basic potion. So let's say you rolled 8, but you threw it at me. I would only get half of that, so I would heal 4. But I would be alive.
Yeah. What about deciding if your throw is successful or your distance, like how far you can throw it?
I haven't quite decided that yet. I was thinking like anyone can throw it 30 feet. That feels like a pretty
Standard.
basic throw. And then for every point of strength you have, you can throw it an extra 10. So, let's say you have a strength score of 16, that's going to be a +3 to your strength. So
Right.
you would be able to throw it an additional 30 feet, 10 feet per point,
Okay.
maybe. And these are all rules that I'm going to bring up to the group once we get out of this kind of prologue portion.
Which is taking a lot longer than you initially anticipated.
Yeah, yeah. We can get to that after we do these rules. And then last on the potions, you can you take a bonus action to drink it, but you're going to drink it like normal, so you're going to roll. But it's only a bonus action. You still got your full action to attack, dodge, cast spell, whatever. So that's the potions. Any thoughts there? Disagree? Agree?
No, I actually like that. It's a little bit, makes it a little more interesting, I think.
I think it also adds some versatility to the potions.
Yeah.
One that okay, another easy one. I wanted crit fails to be a little more. Uh, I wanted them to have a little more of effect than you just miss.
Right.
So in the past, we played around with like, if you crit fail, the enemy that you were trying to attack gets an opportunity attack, and that's fine. But I wanted some more options there, so I've made a table. So I don't have these all ironed out as far as where they'll go, but I think it's 4 options. So really, it's the same amount of chance for each option.
Okay.
So say you crit fail an attack, you're then going to roll your d20 again, straight roll. You're not going to add anything to it. A 1 through a 5 is you will drop your weapon or your spellcasting focus, whatever you have equipped. You will drop it and it will be flung 10 feet in a random direction.
Oh.
So if you're fighting on the side of a cliff, it might be flung off the cliff.
You might lose it.
So I'm thinking, if that's the option that you roll a d4. 1 is straight ahead of you, 2, 3, 4. So that just determines which direction it's thrown, and it's kind of flung. On a 6 through a 10, you will fall prone. So, like, let's say you're trying to, swing your big heavy sword. You crit fail, you mess up the momentum, and you end up just like tumbling on the ground. Now, that one's not that bad. You could still, you could still get up. You can still attack. It's just gonna take some of your movement to get up, or maybe you didn't have any movement left. Well, now you're prone until your next turn. There's some options there. There's some ways that can be played out.
I like that.
On a 11 through 15, your weapon will take what I'm calling a break point. A non-magic, and when I say weapon, this also applies to spellcasting focuses. For your wizard, sorcerer, your spellcasters. On an 11 to 15, your weapon will take a break point. A non-magical weapon or spellcasting focus can take 3 until it is broken. So on that third break point, that weapon is broke. Doesn't mean it can't be repaired, but for the instance of that combat that you're in right there, that thing's broke.
Mm.
On a 16 to 20, the enemy that you're attacking or the closest enemy will take an attack of opportunity if they so choose to. But
Okay. I like it.
one that third out of 4 rules is advantage. Advantage in combat to me just feels dumb. Like I understand the idea of flanking the enemy, but what happens a lot is there just ends up being like a conga line of combat. So it's like,
Yeah.
oh, Tychus came here, so then the enemy came here. Well, then Devin's character came here to flank him, and so you get flanking. Well, then the other enemy came here, so that they're flanking Devin, and that one's flanking Devin. And so it's like, you end up just getting this conga line of combat that's just dumb. You know, you make this cool terrain or you make this cool scene, and then
Yeah.
you're just in a line.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually playing Baldur's Gate last night, and I had something similar happen where I was rolling up on an initiative. But what I tried to do, because we were rolling up all at once, and we were trying to surprise, but we were doing it wrong, and like I kept getting wiped because the succession of the way that the initiative kept getting rolled. I don't know. It wasn't working out in my favor, and it was starting to get not fun. So I ended up changing that up a little bit. It's a little different than what we're talking, but I snuck each character individually around the map or around the arena that we were going to be fighting in, and that created a actually pretty cool scene.
Yeah. So my solution to this while you're in combat, in order to gain advantage on an enemy, an ally will have to use their bonus action on their turn to distract or threaten, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to title you put on. So, like, we'll play it out. So, like, my character comes up. I'm going to use my action to attack, whatever. And then as my bonus action, I'm going to distract or threaten.
Okay.
That is going to give another player an advantage on their attack. Advantage on their attack whenever they come up. So that enemy, any attack unit will have advantage until it either comes to my turn again or until that advantage is used. So you're also going from just having to position yourself to get advantage to now you're having to use a bonus action. Any thoughts there? Any disagreements there? Because there have been some people at our table that don't necessarily like that.
I'm all for it. I think it'll keep it more interesting, especially as people learn their characters, more comfortable with their characters.
I just think, some people don't want their bonus action taken away.
But it's only in that instance.
Right, and it's only if you choose to. I also think advantage is a pretty powerful thing. You're getting to roll now 2 die and take the higher. So you're just upping your chances of hitting or succeeding on whatever you're trying to do. So I kind of wanted it to cost more. Now, this roll also applies to enemies. So they're going to also have to use their advantage to get advantage. They're going to have to use their bonus action to get advantage. Excuse me.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's fair. Yeah, I like it.
It also encourages, say you've made a long range fighter. Say you've made someone who prefers to use their bow and get high ground, or hide in the shadows and throw daggers or whatever. Instead of having to, well, if I really want to hit, I'm gonna have to just go walk behind that guy and then try and stab him or whatever.
Yeah.
Now you can do that. Now you can try and fight for high ground or get good positioning, or whatever it is.
Yeah. I like that. It makes me think of, like I said, what I was doing last night, just straight trying to roll in there. After strategically placing my players around the arena, obviously, there was no, after I did that, it was very easy for me to win.
Yeah.
But there was no cost. And so I think, like what you're saying, making there be a little bit of a cost to get that, it'd make it a lot more interesting.
Yeah. So we'll see. And with any of these rules, when I bring it to the table, if everybody's like, I don't really want to do that, then that's fine. I'm cool with the rich, like OG D&D rules. I'm very lax as DM on the rules. Um, hence why, you know, y'all were able to. That's why Nicole has a laser pistol.
Yeah.
So in one of the D&D games at the library, I gave them the opportunity to take some magic items before the session. Because I think they were going to be like level 8. So I told y'all, I was like, you know, you can take one rare or lower item. And this woman who comes and plays, she hadn't played a ton. I don't think she had played any actually.
Before she started playing with us. Well, I think her and I started at the same time.
Yeah. Well, we're like halfway through this session. They're in some fight, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna pull out my laser pistol." I'm like, huh? We're in classic D&D fantasy here, but I just rolled with it. I think that it's more fun that way.
It is.
Okay.
The unknown element, I think, is what it's like. You create a storyline that we're going to go off of, and but that is, it's just kind of like a line, but that line is never straight.
Yeah.
And even as a player at a table with other players, the other players, you don't know what they're going to do. You don't really have a plan, and they make it just as interesting too. And the DM's playing into what they're doing, so it's a movie that's playing out. You have no idea. We have a mystery of the sock here. They need to see this sock.
Why? Maybe they're drying it out.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch it.
I didn't. Maybe they're drying it out. They might be sleeping in the woods somewhere.
Might be a little track sock.
Okay.
Anyway,
Last rule, I'll go over very quickly because I've taken a lot of time. I want to do targeted attacks. So, if you come up to an enemy, I want you to be able to choose a body part or an element of the enemy to specifically attack.
oh,
So, like,
so not just like on a finishing move.
yeah, not on like, not just for flavor. I want it to have an effect.
Right.
So, say the enemy is holding like this powerful relic and they're casting all these spells from it and it's hurting everybody. I want you to be able to run up and try and slash at his arm and make him drop the relic.
Okay.
So I've made a little. I wrote it all out to where um, basically it adds AC to whatever you're trying to hit. So like if you're trying to hit a leg or an arm, it's going to add 3 to their AC. There's a lot in there.
Yeah.
It's going to add 3 to their AC, but if you hit their leg, they're going to fall prone. And I haven't decided if I want to do like a saving throw on that, or if you hit their arm, they're going to drop whatever they have equipped. If you hit them in the head, anywhere in the head, it's going to add an extra d6 of damage,
Okay.
for whatever your attack is. And then if you hit them in the eyes, it could blind them. But therein, you have to do both eyes. So if you want to go for the blind, you've got to do it twice, or you've got to do it once on your turn, and someone else has got to come up.
I understand. Yeah, I understand.
So
I like that. It can make your rolls, like what you want to do, a little bit more thoughtful, but a little bit more tactic into what it is you want. I like that. Not just saying, I want to hit with my great sword.
yeah, right.
What? Well, what do you want to hit? Why do you want to hit?
So yeah, I'm gonna bring those rules up to the table. Please let me know, maybe in the comments, how you feel about these. If you use any other rules, Just trying to make some of the gameplay a little more interesting.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I like that. Very interesting.
so where are you at in Baldur's Gate?
I think I'm just about to pretty much finish Act 1. They're pretty much pushing me to get into the Underdark.
Mm-hmm.
I've freed Howson. He's joined my camp. I'm trying to think of what else I need to do. I haven't fought the hag. I need to go fight the hag. But
That's a tough fight.
yeah, I was trying to save that for last. Give my characters a chance to level up as much as possible. So they're only at level 4 right now.
Yeah.
And
I
like I said, last night I was fighting that hobgoblin that's in the goblin camp.
Roar Ragslin.
That's good. That's the guy. But you don't just fight him. There's like, if you don't take out the war drums, if you don't do those kinds of things first, there's a ton of people and you don't stand a chance. So after dying 7 or 8 times, um, I started tactically going in there and destroying all the war drums. That other girl, the drow, that they also want you to kill, I actually convinced her to leave. So her and her people left. I didn't have to fight them then. I'm going to have to at some point, I'm sure. And then I went to another room and I put each one of my characters, got them to hold as many gunpowder kegs as I could. And then each one of my people went up into the rafters.
Okay.
While we're up in the rafters, I took gunpowder kegs. And this, like I said, this is what I strategically placed my characters before we ever started the initiative. So here's that advantage. And I just hurled a gunpowder keg straight into the fire pit that was next to him. It didn't take but maybe one or two of those. And most all of the sub characters were dead.
Yep.
And then I just had to worry about him. When you got a full party with, all your health points are available, it didn't take long.
Right.
But I had to learn.
Yeah, I was wondering if you had found the rafters.
Oh yeah.
Or not. So yeah, that's fun.
But just when I think that I had destroyed all those war drums, they would go find another one. Yep. And the next thing you know, here come the cavalry.
When you're fighting when you first get into that little fortress thing, that first goblin lady that you fight.
Yeah.
There's actually a statue in there that's broken or damaged. And if you do enough force damage to it, the statue will fall onto. I don't think it falls on her, but it falls onto a bunch of the enemies and kills them.
Oh.
So.
Yeah. So that was interesting. That was the whole entirety of my night last night playing, was just trying to complete that scene. And but it was a lot of fun. And but it also did make me kind of open up to, a lot of video games, there is a strict set of rules in which you fall inside of. Like, okay, this is in the game, it has to be important. Okay, this wouldn't be here if we didn't have to pay it attention. In Baldur's Gate, maybe not.
Yeah, maybe.
And it just depends. So trying to say, okay, I need to stop thinking like I'm playing a video game like Halo.
Yeah.
Or Call of Duty, or something like that. I need to start thinking like I'm here. Like, what's something I can do to try to get advantage on these people?
Yeah.
And I was like, how about we blow them up from the ceiling?
I'm especially having to think that way because I'm doing the tactician run, and I don't know if I just don't have a good party layout, or half the time I'm just running into the fight thinking I'm gonna win it and don't prepare anything.
Yeah.
But I'm getting to the point now where it's okay, I'm gonna sneak this guy around here, I'm gonna position this guy right here, we're gonna do this and this. But I think that makes the game a little more interesting.
Yeah. And that's the same way with playing, playing Baldur's Gate, video game D&D, or you're playing at a table with people.
Yeah.
You can apply that same mentality. You have to.
Yeah.
You have to apply that same mentality. It's so much more than, if you want it to be a silly session, like we're going to a Christmas party and we're going to gamble dice and try to woo women. Okay, cool, that's fun. But even when you get into your fights, like if Jordan didn't cast Slug on Santa,
yeah,
somebody dying.
Oh yeah, that would have been a much different fight.
Yeah.
But I think it's good to have a balance. So you've got to have sessions where there's like intensity and there's combat and there's the threat of your character dying. But then there's also just got to be shopping sessions. Like
Yeah.
like y'all haven't really had one for the homebrew, but this happens in campaigns a lot, where there is just one full session where it's nothing but shopping, talking to random NPCs, kind of just getting stuff together. And these usually happen like in between story arcs. So like after the prologue, that there's probably going to be a little bit of a shopping session.
Probably
But
need it.
sometimes those are fun. You just walk around, you meet some weird NPCs, you buy some cool stuff, um, and then it's like that was a nice little session.
Mm-hmm.
So
And again, all the skill in the world, if those dice aren't in your favor that
that's
day,
true. That's true.
it doesn't matter.
So,
The seductive stare may not work.
how have you felt being a part of your first campaign? Tell them a little bit about that.
So before this, I'd only done the one shots at the library, which, if you don't know what that means, it means it's just a small, simple, laid out story setting that you're meant to be able to play out.
So the idea of those are like the story starts.
Get reoriented here.
The story starts and finishes in one session, and like one time block.
Yeah, and so this campaign that I'm involved in, I think I'm really enjoying it because it does give you time. Because if you play a character in a one shot, you play the character, you run one really big battle, and it's through. It doesn't really give you a chance to explore the character, not only what their abilities are, you know, but what you want that character to be like in his personality. And because that's also important for the game. It's important for the enjoyment of it. You know, if you just run through like, my character does this, my character does that, which is fine, especially for newer people. But you start actually getting into the role play, and this is really allowing me to kind of do that. And is it silly? Absolutely. Sometimes. Is it great? Yes.
In the last home game, uh, the party chose the two people who don't talk to go and talk to this NPC and try to get him to switch sides. And so they walk up, and their whole plan was to just get this guy sloppy drunk.
He doesn't drink. He doesn't drink.
He doesn't drink. He doesn't drink. But that's the beauty of the dice. He ended up getting really drunk and told y'all everything that he knew, and you don't know if he's going to remember that conversation in the morning or not.
We don't.
But you now have more information.
Yeah, it's probably that entire session, the characters with the lowest charisma, you know, because both mine and Brian's character, they're big dudes. They're heavy hitters. You know, he's a human fighter and I'm a Goliath blood hunter. Just they're the muscle, not meant to woo people or talk them into stuff. But we did it, and it made for an incredible, hilarious table session.
Yeah.
To finish that session off, it was great.
The guy ended up peeing on himself because he was so drunk, and so did Aaron's character.
Yeah.
And then the other guy's character just decided to pee on himself because, you know,
when in Rome. Yeah, but we're trying to get this guy to trust us, and so I'm like, oh, you pee your pants, I'm gonna do it too. And so yeah, it was pretty funny.
So yeah.
People from the outside like watching that.
Right. It's one of those you've got to kind of be there to.
Here we go again. Ta-da!
You've got to kind of be in it to know, you know. It's like an inside joke. Like you've just got to you would have had to been there when it started to really find it funny. But
because if you just walked right up to that, you're like,
huh?
What is happening?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
It was a good time.
It was a very good time. I enjoyed that. Haven't laughed that hard in a hot minute.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, that was like full, like couldn't breathe laughing. Well, we are nearing the end of our walk. My watch just hit 2 miles.
Has it been 2 miles?
2 miles.
Oh.
So I guess we're signing off unless there's anything.
What are you reading?
Minute. Oh yeah, let's do a read, watch, play. I'm this close to finishing book 3, the Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook. Really thought I was going to finish it this past week, and then I just got super busy and couldn't. So I'm this close, this close. I'm probably going to jump straight to book 4 after that. So
I'll have some catch up to do.
yeah. Watching Fallout Season 2. Just watched the first episode. Pretty good. It's more of the same Fallout. So have you watched any of that?
I watched the first season.
Okay, so yeah.
I liked it.
And then playing, just still a mix of Art Raiders and Baldur's Gate.
Same on the play.
Tactician Run.
Same thing with playing. I'm about halfway through Project Hail Mary. It's been a very good book so far. I will be very, very interested because I know they're making a movie, fixing to release a movie this next year. I'm going to be very interested to see how much elements of the book they can put in there because they never can. Any book that goes to cinema, you can't get all those elements in there. So it'll be interesting to see how they play that because some of these science-y elements are actually very important.
Yeah.
So how are they going to put it in there? It'll be interesting to see because it is hard science.
And then, are you watching anything?
I had been watching Mayor of Kingstown. I'm a couple seasons into that, but I have kind of taken a break from that. I may segue now that you talked about Fallout because I didn't realize that had started. So
you need to watch the Critical Role animated shows.
yes,
They're all on Amazon. So you got to watch those.
put it on my TBW,
TBW.
to be watched.
That doesn't roll off the tongue like NPR.
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
All right. We'll see you later.